Hello, my friends. This is Gilles. I wanted to come and discuss a few ideas. The first one is that we're ready to move to the critical mass point from the awakening of humanity that will soon make a first contact, the extraterrestrial connection possible. For that, needs to be 10% of the humanity to be awakened, which is between 500, a little bit less than 10%, 500 million to 800 million people to be awakened. If this, I think this is really happening now. So there is great deal of possibility for there is a lot of dark things that will be coming up to the surface, some really, really dark things. But there needs to be experts before the ETs comes and greet us here. So they will first show up in the sky. Because otherwise, if the humanity does not awaken, the planet will go into a great deal of chaos, and the light workers will have to be beamed up to the planet. And so, but I do not. I think really this point is really about to be reached, and so we're going to move. There is a possibility of first contact of the first kind, first on the sky, before the end of the year. There's a great deal. The galactics are eager to come down here to show themselves, and they want to be seen, they want to be known for all they can do for us as well. For in France, there is this thing with the mask, and like while we're wearing mask, there is a the real masks are dropping. The more spiritual we are, the thinner the mask, the more our true self will manifest. And so as the consciousness grows, we are able to see behind the veil. We see the intentions of all the people, and nobody will be able to hide their intention, whether they work for the good of humanity, or they work against that for those deep states, all those darker forces are really, they've been around a long time, and they're everywhere in the world, and now it's all coming up to the surface to be expurged. And so there's going to be a lot to for wearing masks. Used to be only the bank thieves and the train thieves. They used to hide their face. But in France, a few years ago, they passed a law against the wearing veil for women, Muslim women, and this law stated, I believe, this law stated that it's completely against the law to hide your face in a public space. So I hope that we're not going to go into this ubuesque situation where they force people to wear masks, and then they give them ticket for hiding their face. For there is no rule about that. If you feel you have to wear a mask one day and not the other day, or if you or whatever, let people do whatever they want. It's just if people that are wearing masks because they've been told to be afraid, and so they wear a mask. So it's like hiding behind their mask. This is a different thing than if you feel you have or you do not need to. For in France, here in this town, there is half of the people are wearing them and the other are not. So, but if they make it if they make it mandatory, we'll be wearing it. And for there is this great fight against in the media between the philosopher and the sophist. The sophist is those who are using the power of verbiage, of words, in order to manipulate everybody, to make them believe anything because people are very manipulable. They can, if the words, the mixing up of truth and lies. First, they tell you a truth, so you tune in, you respond to that, and then once you're connected, they go into a lie that manipulate them to lead you to whatever they want you to believe. So it's about being careful, because the philosophers do not have an agenda like that. They want to express the truth, and eventually they want to assist in the government of in the administration of the city, of the people, so that there is a balance, so everybody feel included. So there is the dissolution of all kinds of old mental programming. Very soon we'll be tuning in the mental and the emotional. The third and fourth dimension will be resolved in the fifth dimension. So once you find this unity consciousness, your consciousness is already in the fifth dimension. For we cannot co-create this world we want through fear. It is through love in the heart. For when we are in the heart, we can communicate with the whole universe. Anything is possible once we let go of the mental. We have to learn the power. Certain things we need to say yes, and also we need to say no. And so it's about discerning. What's happening right now is there is a great cleansing of the root of the planet. For our root base chakra is where all the traumas are. Everybody that lives on the earth has many traumas to heal. For it is part of the process, loneliness or wounds. Even yesterday I said there's some things I cannot it's really hard to forgive myself. It's not because I hurted anybody, I don't think it is, but the things I'm having a hard time forgiving myself for is to allow people to crook me, to steal from me, to manipulate me, mostly in the business field. So I have to forgive. It's easy to forgive those people if they're crooks, they're crooks. If they don't have they don't have morals. But it's for me not to be too naive, because we always see others as we are ourselves, and sometimes I was just trusting, too much trusting, and so now I've learned something to always see that sometimes some people, not all, but some people have very dark agendas and they're very selfish and greedy, and so to keep this. So anyway, we're learning every day, huh? And so this root-based chakras that we have is where there is all the traumas, all the fears, all the addicting habits, all those things is held within. So it is really good to do what we can to cleanse our physical body. So that as we cleanse our physical body, the root chakra is being also cleansed as well. There is two matrix, the artificial matrix and the natural matrix. The organic matrix for the dark shadow matrix is about to be dissolved, but all kinds of dark things will be, all these illusions will come up to the surface, and then the key to doing that, to move into this organic timeline, we have the assistance of nature. For if we can connect to nature, it's far better. But even if you do not, even for those who are in the cities that cannot really connect to nature, just having crystals connect you to nature, just having plants in your house connect you to nature, just having pets connect you to nature. So, and you can do guided meditation, mostly for beginners, or even not beginners, but there are great guided meditation that takes you into other planes. Yet the true meditation, to turn within, is very essential, and to go inside every day, to do this effort, to close your senses and to breathe, and to let your thoughts and emotion, to watch them without, to be a contemplator of whatever's going on without judgment. You can also, to assist you, light a little candle. For candles is bring the angelic energy, the peace energy. It stabilizes, it calms us down to assist us in our meditation, even if we turn within. It is balancing out the love light with the light love. Huh? So it's everything light and love are two aspects of the same coin. And focusing on the fifth dimension is essential, to focus on the light and freedom. And yet we have to, this is in our heart, we keep our heart connected to love and to light. Yet our consciousness has to stay in touch with the hologram, the third dimensional realm, because we are here in assistance. And so to broadcast this light into the world, the world, the fact to accept to go into the world of a physical is a great sacrifice, and we sacrifice our sanity, we sacrifice our well-being just to be here in order to assist the planet and humanity. For there is so much well-being in fifth dimension, and so we want to continue to connect to that realm. We want to live in those parallel universe, the physical third dimension, the fourth dimension on the emotional level, to elevate our emotion to always seek to have the best emotion, the best feeling thoughts, and then to be coexistence within our soul and spirit, this higher consciousness of the fifth dimension that we're learning to draw from. And because we're living in this contrasted world, we're feeling both love and fear. It is unavoidable. It's like no matter where, how much it's just when we're more integrated in the fifth dimension, even if we feel fear, we do not hold on to it. It flows through us and it leaves us very quickly. So it's allowing all things to flow through us without the karma of holding on to anything, to let things pass. And so I'm going to pull a few cards with the angels, discuss a few more ideas. And so I hope this message is interesting for you. I'm called to continue to communicate. Very soon I'm going to go back to my business. I won't be able to communicate as much, but I'm going to be able to do other forms of work, to go back to work, to do real works. For this is real works, but so the past, present, and future are connected. Not that the past can be changed, but our vision of the past is always changing. And those who control the world, like in George Orwell, was in 1984, it's very cleverly explained that they can rewrite the past in order to control the present, which help them to assist in creating the future they want. So do not let anybody tell you what is your past, your present, and your future. Decide that for yourself. And every day we have to better, we are able to integrate the past in the most harmonious way, to be more aligned with the present in order to envision a future that is more full of light and love and joy and freedom and abundance. It is important to connect to that happiness whenever those moments where we are being in alignment with that. So the past is patience, the present is revelation, and the future is the request. So past, present, and future are being reconditioned every moment. What we are now is the creation. It's understanding our power of creator. When we create from the heart, we're in co-creation with the whole universe. And the future is intuition. There is so much more that will come through our intuition. The intuition is just a door that opens to so much more, and opens to all the invisible world. For there is 3 waves of ascension that are essentially, for it doesn't matter if you're first wave, second wave, or third wave, we're all going to get where we need to go, and we're all programmed to awaken at a certain time. So the first wave of what we call the first wave is all those that awakened before 2012. For me, I awakened in 1985. 86, and then I started my ascension in 1992, 1993, but I'm still working on transmuting, because we're connected. We're all gonna ascend together. It's what is part of the process. The second wave is those who awaken between 2012 and 2020. And the third wave is those who will awaken after 2020. But all those who are awakening, that are part of the third wave, as if you awaken before, your mission is going to be like to be a teacher of kindergarten, and it's like little babies. You're going to have to adapt the teachings for them. It's like for the more advanced we are, the more for here, it's more like university. I'm talking about ascended master in the works, in the preparation, and all my thoughts are very advanced. That's why they're not attracting all that many people just yet, because they're very advanced. And so, but the people will come to them, and there is this great archives that I've left on the internet. For everything is about symbolism. When the ascension, symbolism is essential. Everything is symbol. Symbols are keys that open the door to higher truths. And so my artwork is highly symbolic. I think it's the art of the future will have to hold some kind of symbolism that creates a bridge for the consciousness to ascend. And so it is essential. There is a book named the Holy Trinosophy. It's a student of Saint Germain from Cagliostro that wrote that from the caves the caves of the Inquisition. He was in chain, and he started writing this book. And his first word is like, "I'm going to teach you about freedom." and in this book they show everything is symbol, but it's also what is said in the Emerald Tablet of Thought. And so there is many other in the Light Cabal. In the Jewish tradition, there is every word is studied, every number is studied, in the keys of Enoch the keys and codes are essential. And we work with whatever symbols vibrates with us, but understand there is always symbols will really free us once we connect to the symbols that open us to the light, and then the higher logos, the more refined energy frequency. And so we want also to hold the violet fire always, to transmute within ourselves and outside of ourselves, to utilize then the violet fire. It's something very intelligent, those sacred fire, to let them do their work, and eventually once all the negativity is consumed, they turn into white light. And so we had to descend from the light into the darkness, into this matrix, this heavy and pure world. We come from a world that's very pure. And so it is delicate for a lot of soul, because when we come from this pure world, this world of spirit that is so pure, and we keep our memory intact, more or less. I already come with so many memories open, so it makes you hypersensitive, and it's very difficult to live in a world that's so heavy and so conditioned. Yet we have this opportunity now to ascend as a collective, and it's never since the fall of Atlantis, we've never had this opportunity to ascend as a collective. So for 12,500 years, humanity has been going through darkness. Only the masters, those who achieve the total balance of their karma, achieve the ascension, as in Buddha or the Christ or others, many others that are less known. For we're going to reintegrate the Lemurian codes as well. The Lemurian code, Lemuria was a civilization that was destroyed by Atlantis, but they were very pure. There was 12-dimensional beings that came. They were very. It was a beautiful civilization, and we want to reintegrate all those codes from Lemuria, those powers. Eventually, we're going to come to the scientific realization that death is an illusion, that we won't have to fear death. For if we're afraid of death, then we are afraid to live as well. And so it is important to know that we have this eternal soul, and once we get to the 0 point, we're going to connect to our eternal soul, and there's this birth of the Christ within, this Christ light, this golden white light, and we all have that within ourselves. For the Christ was the exemplification of that, but he's a master and a friend and a guide, yet this light needs to be awakened from within. And so for all timelines, we're going to converge into the ascension. There is no choice in relationship to that. It will eventuate. Everything is. We cannot doubt for 1 second that the plan of God would be fallible, and that the light of God can be destroyed. The only affliction that God, the biggest affliction that God had, was to never be afflicted. For He knows all things, and His will always, even though sometimes the separation of time and space makes it feel like true justice is not expressed here down here in this world, but at the end everything's going to converge into this 0 point, and humanity will ascend. And so understand there is this removal of all this darkness, and that needs to happen before the extraterrestrials can actually manifest themselves, show themselves. But through the heart, you can already communicate with them. As you communicate, you make those requests, then you receive the information whenever you're in a receptive mode. So you can already communicate with your guides, your angels, the ascended masters, the archangels, the Christ, your creator. Any spirit or higher spirits are always, whenever you think of them, they're here with you. It's not like us. They're not distracted by material reality around us, or conflict, or shadows. So they're all available. So just do not be afraid to ask anything from spirit. They're never too busy for you as well. And do not believe that if they're too busy, if they're busy as doing something else, it won't bother them. They're going to do what they're doing, and they will return to you whenever it's the right time for both of you. The paintings behind me, this is a portrait. I really like this portrait. I think she's really, really beautiful. She's this blonde girl that I feel will soon manifest into my life. Somebody I'm waiting, spirit is saying, and she's going to come into my life, this one person. And this is a symbolic painting of the coming together of the family of light and the family of love, the family of power, the Triangulum Galaxy, the family of love, the Andromeda Galaxy, and the family of light, the Milky Way Galaxy. For all the families are represented everywhere in all families, but it's dominant there. And so the Milky Way we're going to be ascending our galaxy, but the Andromeda is already an ascended galaxy. It's twice bigger than ours. It's much more developed. And so we come into the Andromeda alignment through the Arcturians. They're already as we move into Arcturian alignment, we can get the Andromeda enlightenment. And so here it's like coming from the galaxy of power, Triangulum. There is the DNA that merges into the light, and there is this point of connection in the hyperspace of the fourth dimension where the two galaxies aura meet, and this is a point of freedom. We'll soon discover where our consciousness will have evolved beyond the stellar into the galactic planes. For those experiences, it will come in due time, and it has this key 00101110. It is a universal key that resonates. It opens doors within our DNA and connects us to the portal of the infinite. Finish with a song that went through my mind. It's a song about living and being able to. For soon we're going to be able to travel again, and so it goes like this. All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. But the dawn is breaking, it's early morning, the taxi's waiting, he's blowing his horn. I'm already so lonesome I could cry. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down. So many times I've played around. I tell you now they don't mean a thing. Every place I go I'll think of you. Every song I sing I'll sing for you. When I come back I'll bring your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you. One more time let me kiss you. Then close your eyes and I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come, when I won't have to live alone, about the time when I won't have to say, kiss me and smile for me, tell me that you'll wait for me, hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. That's a song from John Denver. There was a card that fell out, so I'm going to pull this card. It's card number 28. It talks about very solid foundation. We are basing our life on very solid foundation. I'm going to read the little oracle. It says solid foundation, the beautiful work in progress. Message of the oracle. I'm translating it from French. So, you have all that you need in order to cultivate an extraordinary life. It is a time when you must focalize on your foundation, the foundation you are building. Your work, your relation, and all your being is being sustained by your value, your ethic, your sense, your moral, and your beliefs. Are you true to them? Are you true to your value, your ethics, your moral, and your beliefs? Are they going to be able to sustain the test of time and become a solid foundation in which you can build your life? You are now affecting change. You are now implementing change that will affect all your way of being in a positive way. Your destiny is truly remarkable, and it's truly remarkable, and your designs are beautiful. So understand, it is all those higher principles, those values are built in within ourselves, and so we want them to sustain us through the whole continuation of our life. Well, I hope this was interesting for you. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.